thank you to the table on the left. You'll be exempt from all fines today. Thank you, President Tony, and good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I always forget that, and I'm so pleased to get it in. I want to provide just a few observations on three areas. The first relates to life in general, the second to the broad and ever-present subject of management, and third involves the simple question, who said this? But I'll provide the answers. So no problems.
He says everything. He says there's a lot to say.
That's a double fine for introducing politics into our otherwise chaste proceedings. And, apart from Colleen, I'm sorry. So for life in general, but perhaps more to life as it is, rather than what we would like it to be. On the question of principles, Oscar Wilde said, I like persons better than principles, and I like persons with no principles better than anything else. So for those... for those who have principles, and also for those Peter, who have no principles. Please drop as many coins as you can. Actually, heavy notes is the answer. But perhaps the Pakuranga Times had more direct message when they produced an advertisement for dog owners to take their dogs to the local vet for their annual vaccinations. The advertisement said, come and get your dog shot. Proceeds to the local Humane Society. Some of us will remember the great comic W.C. Fields. He saw life pretty much through an alcoholic haze, but when he returned to America after being on safari in Africa, he said, being on safari was like being on a health binge. Someone forgot the corkscrew and we were forced to live on nothing but food and water. I want to acknowledge the great contribution made by Anon, or Anonymous, to our literature. He recently, or she maybe, suggested the title for a country and western song as being, If I Had Shot You Sooner, I Would Have Been Out of Jail by Now. I can't hear any coins. Well, I mean, service above self and the whole, draining lot that we go on with. Why can't people just drop in on their own initiative, as much as they possibly have? Anyone that's got a dog vaccinated? Anyone that listens to country and western music? Please drop as much as you can into the pot. Now, we have a number of followers of Tony Ryle here, that seer of the local political scene. So moving on to management, I have two first prizes. Tony Ryle, State Services Minister, told the following anecdote to the Institute of Chartered Accountants. A business owner was interviewing people for a senior position and asked them to add 2 and 2. The engineer used a slide rule and said the answer was between 3.98 and 4.02. The social worker said, I do not have an answer, but I'm glad we discussed this important question. The accountant leaned over and said quietly to the business owner, what would you like the answer to be? I know that excludes all the accountants in Rotary because we have service above self, but just in case you have the odd thought about it. Now, Margaret Mead, I suppose most of us have heard about her, famous old dragon of the anthropology school. There are also men dragons. I've deep misgivings about her writings on Samoa, but on this one, she got it absolutely right when she said, always remember you're absolutely unique, just like everybody else. The other prize goes to a notice in a Miramar shop window. Open most days about 8 or 9, occasionally as early as 7, but some days as late as 11 or 12. We close at about 5:30 or 6, occasionally about 4 or 5, but sometimes as late as 11 or 12. Some days, or afternoons, we're not here at all, and lately we've been here just about all the time. Closed Mondays, unless we're here, in which case we're open, except when the door is locked. Appointments can be made for other times by calling during our regular hours. Thanks. Yes. So anyone who's been in a shop in Miramar, could they please put into the pot? You know, thank you very much. I haven't finished. Hang on. That's enough about management. The third category is who said this. I spent a year in that town one Sunday.
Gerald McGhie.
George Burns. That both tables pay immensely for the egregious loss there. George Burns, most of us growing up in the 1950s actually would have experienced that in most of our towns, I think. And who said this? We hang out petty thieves but appoint the great ones to public office. Aesop's fables, and it was only in the 6th century before the Common Era. We're still trying to catch up with ways to keep the government honest. If we're doubtful about that, we may be more comforted by Henry Cate, who said, the problem with political jokes is they get elected. So anyone who's in politics, thinks about politics, reads about politics, or heaven forbid would like to be in politics, please add to the sunshine box, and that this time is for me. Thank you very much.